Here are 9 news stories from the world of the crypto industry. First, news. LTC whales show increased activity. Litecoin, created by former Google engineer Charlie Lee, has been holding at around $64 for the past 2 weeks. This is approximately 27% higher than its lowest price recorded in August and 44% lower than this year's peak. Litecoin's price correlates with Bitcoin, which surged to a record price above $73,000 in March before falling to $49,000 in August. The leading crypto asset is currently trading at around $54,000. According to analytics firm Sentiment, large LTC holders have shown increased activity over the past few weeks, buying the asset during its decline. Experts also noted a significant rise in the number of Litecoin mentions on social media. Since the end of August, Litecoin has experienced consistently higher whale activity than usual. Additionally, the level of social media discussions around the asset, ranked 19th by market capitalization, has sharply increased. Whether you are a fan of LTC or not, it's worth watching, Sentiment analysts wrote. At the same time, Sentiment data shows a sharp decrease in the number of daily active addresses on the Litecoin network. On Friday, September 6, there were about 327,000, compared to 801,000 in June. Technical analysis indicators point to a bearish sentiment for Litecoin. The asset is currently below the descending trend line and remains under the 50-day moving average, indicating a potential further drop. If this happens, LTC could fall to $60, its lowest level since January 3, 2024. Second, news. Venezuela wants to add Bitcoin to its reserve assets. Opposition leader Maria Corina Machado aims to include Bitcoin in Venezuela's list of reserve assets, following the example of nearby El Salvador. In a recent interview, Machado, a former member of the National Assembly, highlighted the extremely high rate of devaluation of Venezuela's national currency, the bolivar, due to rampant inflation. According to her, the prices of essential goods double almost every 2 days, and the country's economy continues to collapse. To stabilize the situation, Maria proposes creating a Bitcoin reserve fund and apparently starting to buy cryptocurrency with public funds. She believes that savings in digital assets will help restore the country's financial system as the gold reserves dwindle. El Salvador, which has invested at least $308.9 million of public funds in Bitcoin, earned an unrealized profit of $31.7 million, 23.7%, from its coin purchases. The government began buying BTC in October 2021, meaning the 23.7% profit accumulated over almost 3 years. Had El Salvador invested in gold instead, the profit over this period would have been around 40%. This raises questions about the effectiveness of investing in Bitcoin at its current price. Third, news. Why Ripple supports Harris. This week, Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen became one of the business leaders who signed a letter supporting Kamala Harris's candidacy for U.S. president. However, according to Pierre Rochard, vice president of research at Riot Platforms, Larsen's endorsement of Harris is linked to problems at Ripple, primarily the declining performance of the XRP cryptocurrency relative to Bitcoin. Since September 2023, the XRP/BTC pair has dropped 50%, with XRP rising only 5% over the year, while Bitcoin surged 110%. Rochard also criticized Ripple's efforts to promote a central bank digital currency, which many in the crypto community see as a move against freedom and an attempt to undermine Bitcoin's significance. Chris Larsen, Ripple, and XRP are pushing for CBDC. They are against freedom and want to ban Bitcoin. They bribed Greenpeace to attack proof of work, but it didn't work, so now they are desperately supporting Kamala, as XRP/BTC has dropped by 50% over the last year, wrote Rochard. Rochard suggested that Ripple's support for Kamala Harris reflects the leadership's frustration with XRP's declining price, which continues to fall. Fourth, news. Ripple CEO predicts demand for yen-based stablecoins. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, sees Japan as a promising market for stablecoins. He said this in an interview with Bloomberg on September 7, 2024. According to Garlinghouse, despite some level of conservatism, the Japanese market is really healthy in every way. He explained that compared to other countries, Japan is ahead in providing regulatory clarity on stablecoins and cryptocurrencies as a whole. This has really allowed entrepreneurship and investment to flourish here in Japan. For example, the US is definitely lagging behind other countries in this regard, including Japan, the UK, and Switzerland, Garlinghouse said. The Ripple CEO suggested that, over time, users would want to store funds in yen-based stablecoins. However, he refrained from commenting on the launch of Ripple's asset in Japan until the company introduces it in the United States. We will launch it in the US first, but we believe stablecoins have potential worldwide, and certainly in Japan, he explained. To recap, in early August 2024, Ripple Labs began testing the Rust stablecoin on the XRP ledger and Ethereum networks. The asset is expected to expand to other blockchains and decentralized financial protocols in the future. According to the latest data, the new stablecoin will launch in the US within a few weeks. The company believes Rust will complement the XRP token and expand Ripple's capabilities in the cryptocurrency market. Fifth news. Meta AI creates the ideal portfolio for the 2024 crypto market. The cryptocurrency market has been in a 6-month consolidation range, and analysts have yet to determine whether the year will end on a bullish or bearish note. For this reason, Meta's Llama 3.1 artificial intelligence tool was tasked with creating the ideal crypto portfolio in light of the current uncertainty. Meta AI divided crypto assets into 4 levels. Large-cap cryptocurrencies make up 40%, while 3 other categories receive 20% each. This way, the AI balanced risk and potential returns. Level 1, large-cap cryptocurrencies, 40%. In Level 1, Meta AI allocated 15% to Bitcoin, 10% to Ethereum, and 5% each to BNB Chain, Cardano, and Solana. Level 2, DeFi and lending protocols, 20%. Level 2 consists of decentralized finance and lending protocol tokens, with 5% allocated to each of the following assets: Uniswap, Aave, Compound Finance, and MakerDAO, now Sky. Level 3, NFT and Metaverse, 20%. Meta AI believes that community participation will play a key role in the 2024 bull run, so Level 3 includes cryptocurrencies focused on gaming, non-fungible tokens, and the metaverse. For projects equally split 20%, The Sandbox, Decentraland, Axie Infinity, and Engine Coin. Level 4, projects focused on scalability and interoperability, 20%. Finally, for more cryptocurrencies made it into Level 4 of the ideal crypto portfolio for 2024. This group includes 5% each for Polkadot, Cosmos, Near Protocol, and Harmony, making up 20% in total. Despite Meta AI's efforts, investors should approach this AI-constructed portfolio with some skepticism, as artificial intelligence models are limited to public data. 6th news. In 1.5 years, 10% of U.S. companies will own Bitcoin. U.S. financial services firm River predicts that 10% of U.S. companies will allocate 1.5% of their treasury reserves, around $10.35 billion, to Bitcoin in the next 18 months. River's forecast is linked to growing concerns among institutional investors about a potential economic recession in the U.S., expected by July 2025. Experts cited MicroStrategy Strategy as an example, which has been actively investing in Bitcoin, In June, Michael Saylor's company sold $800 million in bonds and used the proceeds to buy another 11,931 BTC. Saylor has repeatedly highlighted Bitcoin's potential as an investment, calling it an asset that offers economic immortality. According to Saylor, Bitcoin's limited supply and lack of counterparty risk make it the ideal choice for protecting investments and preserving wealth. For this reason, River analysts believe that companies will turn to Bitcoin in the coming months. Current forecasts show a 52.29% chance of the U.S. entering a recession by July 2025. This figure is slightly higher than the previous August estimate but lower than the January 2025 forecast of 61.47%. 7th news. Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs fall to new lows. After a week of bearish price declines in many cryptocurrency tokens, only 3 out of the top 50 tokens by market capitalization increased during the week. The value of U.S. Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange-traded funds reached new multi-month lows. On Friday, U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs saw an outflow of around $170 million, bringing the total combined value of the 12 funds in the market to $48.24 billion. This is the first time in a month that the value has dropped below $50 billion, marking the lowest total since May 1. According to CHWY data, comparable figures were last seen in late February. While the industry leader, BlackRock, recorded neither inflows nor outflows for its IBIT fund, the second largest fund, Grayscale's GBTC, saw an outflow of $53 million, and Fidelity's FBTC recorded an $85 million outflow, the largest on Friday. Bitwise BATB fund saw a $14 million outflow, while ARK and 21 Shares ARKB fund saw a $7 million outflow. Grayscale's BTC Mini Trust and Valkyrie's BRRR funds each recorded an outflow of about $5 million. A daily outflow of nearly $170 million marks the 8th consecutive trading day of outflows from spot Bitcoin funds. While the total value of assets in spot Bitcoin funds reached multi-month lows, the same metric for U.S. Ether ETFs fell to its lowest recorded level after a $6 million outflow reduced the total assets held by the funds to just $6.09 billion. This is about 41% less than the total value of assets on the first day of trading, which was $10.24 billion, according to CHWY data. Only 2 funds recorded changes in net asset value on Friday. Grayscale's ETHE saw a $10 million outflow, while BlackRock's ETHA recorded a $4.7 million inflow. The net negative day continues a 6-day streak of negative or zero inflows for Ethereum ETFs. The funds recorded outflows of around $91 million in September. 8th news. Arthur Hayes closes a short position on Bitcoin with a 3% profit. Arthur Hayes, co-founder of the BitMEX exchange and crypto expert, closed his short position on Bitcoin. The announcement appeared on Hayes' X page. "I closed the short on Bitcoin with a 3% profit. That's more than enough to cover my food needs," wrote the crypto expert. According to Hayes, Bitcoin's price could rise next week if market conditions remain the same. He expects an influx of US dollar liquidity. To recap, on September 6, 2024, the BitMEX co-founder opened a short position on Bitcoin. Hayes' post suggested that the leading cryptocurrency could drop to $50,000. Later that day, Bitcoin plunged and fell below $55,000. The price continued to decline, eventually correcting to $52,500. In one of his latest essays, Arthur Hayes revised his predictions for high-risk assets and the cryptocurrency market. According to his new statement, sideways movement or a decline in cryptocurrencies will continue until the end of September and will only stop after a liquidity injection from the U.S. Treasury. 9th news. Meme coins CHWY and GME surge after a post by Roaring Kitty. Financial analyst Keith Gill, also known as Roaring Kitty, posted on X after several months of silence. The traders shared a cartoon image of CHWY. Gill's cryptic message sparked a surge in activity among traders of meme coins on the Solana network. Specifically, on September 6, the price of the CHWY token soared by more than 25%, according to CoinMarketCap. However, after the spike, the asset's price dropped. In July 2024, reports emerged that Keith Gill owned 6.6% of shares in CHWY, an online store for pet food and other pet products. This likely inspired some creators to develop meme coins related to the brand. Shortly before Roaring Kitty's post on X, an unknown investor bought $2 million worth of GameStop shares, according to on-chain analyst Unusual Whales. The price of the GME meme coin surged from $0.0027 to $0.0055 but later retreated to $0.0040, according to TradingView. At the end of June, Roaring Kitty faced a class action lawsuit accusing him of securities fraud related to the infamous GameStop stock saga. A few days later, GameStop investor Martin Rodev dropped his claims against Keith Gill and withdrew the lawsuit.